Hot Top Sports where the takes don't miss. The prof with the stats, the champ with the fist. Water bringing fire, cowboy tie riding bold. Bulls calling bets, watch the stories unfold. And it's truly eyebrows running the show. It's Hot Top Sports, baby. Let's get it. Let's go.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to High Top Sports. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we had the game yesterday that came down. It was a good one. It was a hard-fought one all the way up into the end. And I hate when I say that. They're like, look how far this fan base has come. They're accepting mediocrity. Like, no, we're 3-6. So there's an understanding of where things are. And like, I'm not, you have to accept some things, but it's like you can acknowledge two things can be true. You played hard and you still got your butt whooped, and you don't accept mediocrity, but you can still appreciate a good effort. So I'm not going to continue to explain that. With explaining that, I'll still get flack in the comments for it. But we'll talk a little bit about the game. But honestly, we all know why we're here. We're here about the Lane Kiffin drama. Our boy Danny T is being dragged on social media, which it's got to chill out. Some of the stuff is egregious from what we're seeing. And we'll get into all that. If you don't know what's going on, people were asking for a show when his original tweet came out, and we were on Fridays. It's Family Friday, so I chill with the fams on Friday. That's what the F stands for on Friday. There's no other Fs any other day of the week, so I ignore them for the other 6 days, which is great. But on Friday, I've got to be committed to the game. So we're going to talk about his tweet on Friday. Dan had a tweet today. I'm going to talk to you about what our Discord has been talking about, what our guys on our side that do a phenomenal job at our Discord that are connected, and then we'll also talk about some board stuff that we're seeing. A lot of moving pieces here, and this is something that I would say, this is why I've took the stance that I've taken this entire time. I've learned. I've grown, boys, okay? From my lying seasons and hyping things up from a football perspective, this, in my opinion, is much more, that could sway things, more emotions, and we have less control. We have zero control in any of these things. Telling lies about football games and who's going to be good, I think, is a little more tongue-in-cheek, and it's more fun. And I'm not saying these guys are lying, so let's not get it twisted. But I've been trying to kind of make sure we express that as much as these sources, and it's nothing against the sources, they're doing everything they can to facilitate what they're hearing, but it's a very fluid situation. The reason, and I've said this, this is why I've done the best that I can. Whether I've done a good job or not, it's up to you. It's in the eye of the beholder, of trying to give you as many sides and angles as possible. So we had the guy from Ole Miss come on, like what are they feeling? What are they seeing? And we try to find us somewhere in the middle. And that's what we're going to do here today is let's unpack everything, figure some things out, and continue to move along from there. And again, this is why, I learned from the season, and I may not still do it right, but I'm going to do the best that I can to navigate this and hopefully inform it as much as possible. But the Dan's getting a lot of flack. I feel for him. And look, when you put a tweet out like there, it was a big hitter. I mean, I was hyping him up, and I was pumped. But it doesn't deserve any of the nonsense he's getting. I still feel like the news that he felt confident about is still, I would say, is still there. The timeline might just be a little bit off as of now. But we got the prof joining us here today. Got the undershirt on. No nips. Everyone's like, where's Cody? Where's Cody? Where's Cody? Like, I can't even say hi to the people anymore. You're like, it's just like, where's Cody? They miss you, baby. He's here. He's ready to rock and roll. He's a little grubby though. This is what I deal with on Sundays.
I'm kind of juiced up. You know why? We have to see how can the boys go dominate
8:30 tonight. Good call. I might be going to that game.
What? What about the boys? What about us?
I'm gonna go hang out with the boys. You dig?
What about our boys?
Well, you hold it down to live. I'll call in. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. You know what I am disappointed about?
Like our coaching church.
We went to church this morning, and I was really hoping that there'd be like a subtle message in there to like help me navigate this conversation today. Like maybe like halfway through, he's like, Lane's going to Gainesville, and then continue to move on, right? Like a little sign, a signal. All he did was just, tell us that we have to be better husbands, which was 100% right, but it did nothing for me on the Lane search. It just reminded me to be a better husband to Caitlin, which I feel like that's not important. But no, great message. But that didn't give me any help for here today. It says we have an echo. I'll fix it right. Apologize. There we go. We're back at Go ahead.
We have an echo?
Yeah, we're good now. I fixed it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Apologies, guys, on that one. But yeah, let's talk about the game really quick. Quick little recap. Like I said, it sucks. We just can't find ways to win football games. Lagway played better. Still not where I think he should be, but in the consideration of where he was, I don't feel like one individual lost the game. I just felt like there was bad play calling here and there. I felt like it was a true chess battle. And ultimately, what I feel like it came down to was the team that pulled it off was a team that has been battle tested and has showed you ways to win and knows how to win because they've done it multiple times this year. Florida hasn't had it, right? We haven't shown the ability to overcome that adversity. We went scoreless for 2 quarters. You put up 24 in the first half and never see the end zone or a field goal ever again. And again, you felt like they were just, I don't know what changed. It's hard to really have any true conversations about the game because we know like what we see isn't going to be but 2 more games. And we don't even know what players are going to be there, right? So it's tough. The only bad decision I would say was the Lagway interception. Like you have to be cognizant of where you are in that situation. I know you want to make a big play, but you're also you're at the opportunity to tie the game, right? Now, will we have stopped him? Who knows? But you're there to, you got to know like, hey, like if it's not there, you can't force it. You're not in desperation mode to force it. And that's just with time. But that was kind of the only big error. And then the Hail Mary at the end of the game was just, I have no clue. I'm lost for words still on what that was. I don't know what that was at all. But I mean, all in all, they fought hard, they play hard, they didn't quit. And again, this isn't like a moral victory, but for a fan, you guys saw, if you watched yesterday, I threw some fits because I'm not going to tune in for 3 hours for you not to care. At least show me something. So let's go ruin Tennessee's and Florida State's season. That's what we got here. Thoughts?
I think that the defensive line, the young defensive line, especially Mekhi Barrow,
McLeod,
some of those guys, McLeod, man, they look really, really good, especially against a SEC team that's supposed to be making a playoff run. I pretty impressed with them. Denson off the edge, stopping the run, very good at that. Your boy Fonza Allen meeting the running back in the hole. I know he rushed for 250 yards, but that kid's a hammer too. That Lacey kid, golly,
he is, dude.
Like 5 yards. He is literally 5 yards a pop. Like, you can put your hand on the Bible. He's getting 5. You know what I mean?
A player like that. I mean, he's like a guy like that is going to be huge in the playoffs, where you can genuinely lean on and just like, hey, like we can get 5 yards a clip, and I think that's going to be huge when you don't, because again, I think you're going to go into this playoff with a lot of young quarterbacks that, I mean, Fernando's probably going to be your oldest, most experienced guy. Trinidad, I would say, is experienced, but not in this world. But like the Gunners, the Julian Sayans, the Ty Simpsons, like these are the guys you're looking at. Marcel Reed, these are young guys that either this is their first true year, and so you're going to have to find another piece to rely on. The good run game is going to be huge, especially when you look at teams. John Mateer's old too. He's going to be there too.
Ole Miss's problem is going to be their DB room. I mean, they were getting absolutely torched by the wide receivers.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make a big run, but he's a guy, if you can keep it close, that you can lean on late, like they did.
Yeah,
like they did.
It's better than what Bama has right now. Bama can't run the ball at all.
Yeah, when something's not working, at least they had that piece to lean on for a bit when Trinidad was struggling. A&M is built very similar, where they have a really good run attack. Where if Marcel's not doing the thing, and he can run.
Good job, Eddie. Yeah, Miles Graham. My goodness, that.
I mean, he again. When people ask who do you want to keep, he is the only name that I care about. I don't care. I mean, the wide receiver is great. I don't care about the wide receiver room. I mean, that's not a shot. It's just like I understand this thing's fluid, but I also know that the wide receiver room, in my opinion, is one of the rooms you can easily go pluck out of the portal and fill up. Like they're out there. Miles Graham is a treat.
Miles and Childs, you gotta keep them.
Yeah, no question. Well, let's do this, boys. Let's talk the lane drama. And for those of you that may not know what's going on or kind of a little lost in the sauce. So Dan Thompson, who we've had on our show, and he's been great, man, giving us a lot of insight, a lot of fun conversations with him. And again, he tweeted on Friday. He said, be sure to watch out for your phones on Sunday. And so immediately, I mean, this thing just skyrocketed
3 million?
3 million views, craziness. And to be fair, I mean, look, when he tweeted out the same type of tweet when Bailey was gonna be fired, and obviously that came true. And so we all, as of last night, how things were ending, we were wondering how it was gonna go. But let's play the line here, okay? So that comes out on Friday. This happens. This is going down Saturday night. This behind the message boards. I want to kind of give you a little bit of a timeline here of how things were shaking up. And we were hearing this kind of moments before the game that there seemed to be some heat from the internal movings of Lane and Ole Miss, which I would argue supports what Dan was tweeting of like, it looks like a thing has been done and Ole Miss is trying to do a last Hail Mary throw to put the pressure on. And listen to what Pete Nako said. Ole Miss is going to turn on the pressure on Lane, making a decision. I don't know what he's doing. And this just really goes back to the point of how fluid this situation is. And why I have been the way that I have been is because there's an emotional connection to all of this. And the next thing we're going to show you speaks to that as well. But then he tweets out, the fact that Ole Miss doesn't play a game for nearly 2 weeks after today is going to make things really interesting. All I'm going to say. And so this goes back to, we talked about it with Steve from Locked On Ole Miss, where he's like, oh, they're going to wait till after the playoffs. And I was like, that's asinine. You can't do that. Neither team is going to be willing to sit around and wait to see what Lane does because both people can't do that. So when he talked about an ultimatum, right, where Florida put an ultimatum to the Lane, I don't think they put it was more like, hey, we have to make these moves. Now we don't have the leverage to necessarily put an ultimatum. And now Ole Miss is kind of pinching him too, where to me that's promising if you're Florida. When I read this, I was like, if Ole Miss feels like they need to pressure him into making a decision, then they feel worried of what they're hearing. They don't feel confident on where they stand. And I don't know the reason for forcing his hand now. Because I also have heard like if he were to move on, they don't want him coaching the thing out. And so maybe the reason
which is absolutely wild.
And I kind of feel like he kind of showed his hand last night. Like we're reading tea leaves left and right. It's like, okay, you guys think you can do this on your own? Go ahead. I'll just sit on the sidelines. And the game was literally on the ropes, and he goes, hand me the card. We're not losing this effing game because you guys want to be knuckleheads. This is why you need me to the end here. Let me run this thing to the end, regardless of what I decide to do after the fact. And I agree. Like, I don't care what this guy does. Go let him coach it out. I don't understand. Like, I get being pissed off and bitter, but I don't understand the facet of not letting him coach out. But then I'm thinking, like, well, maybe Ole Miss wants... They're forcing him because they're like, if you're going to go to Florida, I don't want you coaching it out, and I want to give the new guy, whoever we step in for interim, to have a bye week plus the Egg Bowl. With this win, they're pretty much guaranteed in the playoffs, I think. There was like a 97% chance. So the Egg Bowl doesn't really carry much weight anymore, and that's what I'm thinking that could be the move. Again, we don't know. Like, I'm genuinely trying to, and this is also why I've always said, I know my stuff gets hurt. Why I don't always like knowing the moves, because I want to have genuine, open conversation about it. But I will argue.
Old Miss.
Go ahead.
Did you see the Old Miss podcasters?
Yeah, I tweeted it. They were in shambles after the game.
You want to pull that up?
Yeah, I'll play the clip. Yeah, they were. I couldn't believe their response.
Four guys?
I was like,
the four guys.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Bro, it feels like Old Miss is tired of him, and I can see that. You know, Lane is he's a guy that can wear on a fan base. That's why I don't know if he's necessarily a long-term, 10, 12-year guy, because just his style wears on a fan base. Kind of, there's been some other coaches like that. Matt Patricia, when he was coaching at the Lions, kind of the same way, just war on the media, war on the fan base. They're just
because of what he was trying to do, right?
Yeah, just kind of hard.
Very
people.
Aaron Rodgers-like.
Yeah.
Exhausting
Aaron
to
Rodgers,
manage.
same way.
Exhausting to manage. Yeah, no question. And I think
just like after you're done, you're just exhausted. He like sucks. It's because they're just so. I can't figure out the word, but they like suck all the oxygen out of the room. And
Yeah,
in the
it's
best
me.
way,
They're a me first
in the
personality. Yeah, in the best way and in
it,
the good way. Just if you're in the right vacuum, it's fun. But when you're not in the right vacuum, it is not fun to be in. And right now, he's in his own little vacuum. Like there really isn't a place. I don't think a fan base is comfortable with where he's at right now. And you got to think as Florida fans, it's funny. Like we see all these toxic traits, and it's like he's not going to do it with us. And I think the argument to that is because like we are the final destination. The one guy from Ole Miss was talking about his nomadic personality being Lane, constantly moving. And I like that. I think that was a good analogy of him always hopping from place to place. But it's the hops have been to get to the legacy, to get to the mountaintop, and that's why Florida feels that we are that final destination, if you will.
well, let me play a scenario. Lane Kiffin comes here for 4 years, wins us 2 natties, and then goes to Bama. Are we mad?
It's very urban-like. I mean, I wouldn't be upset about it.
So it's like we know what we're getting into, right? Like I don't think Lane Kiffin is a 10,
It's hard to know what
guy.
any coach is going to do 5 and 6 years from now, and that's why, like in the same breath, you sign these long contracts because you don't want that to have happen. Now they can obviously buy themselves out, but the other thing I wanted to mention too, in lieu of the tweet originally from Dan, I will argue that in our Discord, a lot of our guys were still kind of harping. They're like, hey, because everyone's like, "Hey, what is this Dan tweet?" And our sources were like, "We're hearing after the Egg Bowl." And again, they didn't. I asked them. They're like, "I hadn't heard anything about the Sunday stuff." They feel very confident still on Lane coming to Gainesville, but after the Egg Bowl was kind of always their timeline. And if you don't recall, Dan's initial timeline was mid-December. So again, I don't know where. And I asked him about the Sunday thing. He's like, "I just feel good about. I'm just what I feel is good about Sunday." So, all right, cool. And to be fair, I asked him last night, and he goes, "Yeah, I still feel comfortable." So something changed within, which I expect. Like in this, and then I'm going to play this clip here in just a minute. But this message here is kind of what really nails it on the head of, I think, where you see a true battle happening, an internal battle for Lane. This guy tweeted or put in that board, "I've heard it twice now. He is coming down off last night's high, still a coin flip, but turning back to Gators." And I'll get to this in just a minute because there's 2 parts here for the Spurrier thing. Let's split this up. But that is what I felt too after how emotional of a win that was. They're chanting his name. I'm like, man, like this is what worries me. Like you're an emotional person. We all are. I'm like, damn, bro, how do you leave? Like as much as it is. So you've got to go and you've got to go, hey, I can't go and sign this now because of this initial high. Because before the game, and I've learned to do this. Like when I try to make a decision, I go, hey, I want to do this. And when you get excited about something, it's very easy to just be like, yep. So you need to make the call that you want to do it. Get excited about it. And I've learned to like, all right, then get back down to reality. Let the engine cool off. And it's like, do you still want to do this? Is that emotional decision still what you want to do? Or your original thought that, when you're level-headed, what feels right now? And I think that's what's happening. And I respect him for, kind of allowing those things to cool off. So he does make the best decision that he feels is for him. Florida Man 93 says, what was Dan Hickens saying about Spurrier? Apparently, Spurrier flew up to have a conversation to kind of be a part of the pitch. This guy even is now also confirming these are 2 different sides. One's a Florida side, one's an Ole Miss side. The Spurrier pitch meeting earlier this week was powerful. All of this is such a shit show, not how a man or leader handles things. And then the guy who's on staff said not a word. So he wasn't confirming nor denying this comment from Dixie Rebs above.
We have heard from now multiple places that the Spurrier, like a group of people went and talked to Lane, with Spurrier being one of them. I've heard that now 3 times from 3 different places.
Yeah, I've heard a new thing. So look, the Egg Bowl is a new time. If you're in a Discord, it was never a new time for those guys. Like I've supported and backed all of the guys that lay their neck on the line from a source's perspective because it's a dog-eat-dog world out there.
So, what do you think they bumped the Egg Bowl up just to get Lane to make the decision earlier?
What do you mean bump the Egg Bowl? You can't move the game, Cody.
No, they moved the time up. Wasn't it always a night game?
Oh, no. I mean, last year was on a Friday. It was on Black Friday. I don't think that matters.
Oh, okay.
What the hell does it matter if it's a 3:30 or 7:30 game? So they can start, they don't go to bed.
Just asking.
Yeah, hell, that was a weird flex there. But yeah, so let me see here. $5, $10. Y'all, that environment was 90% piped in. Little John yelling Mississippi, piped in techno dub music, even during play, and turning off the lights right before the snap when Florida was on the goal line. Yeah, that was we were watching. I was very, to be honest with you, like I think Ole Miss fans think that I was trolling with the loudness last night. I was not kidding when I tweeted out. I genuinely, like, there was times where you would have thought we were in the swamp. Like I heard us clear as day. Like, move back, you suck. The Gator chomp. Like, I was impressed with how our fan base showed up and showed out. So
yeah, somebody said about 25,000 was their estimate.
Gators
in the chat. Yeah, was there.
So this one's saying it's on a Friday this year too. This one says it's at 12 p.m. Saturday. I don't know.
Let's look it up. Not that hard.
Someone's saying, please find an interview. There is an amazing interview with Jordan regarding the GOAT and James, and reveals exactly what we need. James will never be the GOAT. I don't know who James is. Yeah, Move Back, You Suck was hilarious to hear. Let me play this sound right here. Friday?
11 a.m. Central Time, 12 o'clock.
So 12 o'clock. It's Friday. Okay, cool.
Yep, Black Friday.
Yep. Guys, there's 800 people in here, not 100 likes. I really appreciate it. I'll let you two know we're doing it. I know there's some Ole Miss fans in here. If you guys want to dislike it, you guys can do that too. I don't really care. But if you guys will subscribe, that would mean a lot. We're trying to get to 30,000 subs. Let's play this clip from these Ole Miss guys. Again, I watched this, like, oh my gosh, they just won the football game. This is how we sounded when Billy beat Mississippi State.
Decide if I want to say what I want to say. I'm just tired of the cuteness. I'm sorry. Can I just say it? I'm fucking tired of it. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah,
if you're going, nobody cares. If you're going to go, fucking go. But like the trolling your own fan base out the door thing, like that's got, like, if you're going to go. But like that stuff, I don't understand that as just human being.
Yeah, that's my point real quick, Neil, is it's either way. It's either, because look, again, if he's going, he's trolling his own fan base on the way out the door. Exactly what Sitzky said. Bringing up the Citadel, trying to be the victim, trying to be whatever. The Kiffin 2026 cap that he tweets today, that makes zero sense except for a troll if he knows he's going. And if he's staying, you went 10-1 and had the best atmosphere potentially in school histrry tonight. It was an awesome atmosphere. Biggest crowd, 68 plus, and a guy gives you a softball to talk about how you've transitioned and persevered as a program, and you bring up the freaking Citadel? You don't promote your damn program.
So what, real quick, in case you missed the interview, it was pretty funny. They asked him, like, hey, like, what are your thoughts on, like, you know, talking about, I think, like, a blue blood schools and the environment, and he goes, yeah, it was great. Not like last week, but yeah, it was great this week. Like, kind of like downplayed how good it was when they played Citadel last week at noon.
Here's the thing. Hold on. I'm going to say this, then I'm going to go. I'll leave it to you guys. I need to go right. I feel like I'm not doing my main job right now, but I'll say this because it's kind of what's going through my mind a little bit for what I'm writing, and my column's mostly written. I just got to insert some quotes and nuance some things, but I don't think anybody will ever accuse me of being an Ole Miss apologist. And this place has given him everything that he has asked for. And to his credit, he's turned it around. But not everybody, Tyler probably is nodding his head without saying it, not everybody who's ever coached here has gotten the complete and total support that he's gotten. From the administration, from the chancellor, from the fans, from the money people, the collective. You want to change the uniforms? Yeah, we'll change the uniforms. You want to bring your dog on the? Yep, done. You want to do this? Yep, real tree. Yep, we'll do everything. Hey, we're going to bring Aflac out here, and we're going to get you on national commercials next year with you and the duck. But they've done everything they could do, and if it's not enough, like you wonder. I mean, I would wonder, like, what does it take for you to be happy?
I get their frustration.
I mean, I don't. If you want to win football games, you got to invest.
Well, I feel
you
like
want to go back to the cellar.
I feel
he's
like that's
talking
what
about,
they're saying.
This is the first coach that has all the alignment of the university. Well, god dang, that's how you win football games, dummy. I know you're not a anything school. You guys suck at everything. You have 0 SEC titles. You suck. That's what it takes. That's what it takes to be Bama. That's what it takes to be Georgia. And you guys are too proud.
It's 12. Why are you so mad at 12 o'clock?
They're just so dumb, dude. They're
so
fucking dumb.
No, but you have to understand. I mean, like the fact of the matter is that the other guy said it that they have given Lane.
It doesn't matter because when we get Lane Kiffin, they go back to the fucking cellar where they belong.
Easy, gosh.
When they go back to the cellar where they belong, it'll be fine, and they'll be crying. They think they're going to get this hotshot coach in there. He's going to do the same thing that Lane Kiffin does, and he's going to be able to navigate the portal like he does. They think they have it all figured out. Well, I can tell you, get ready, Ole Miss, because you're about to be your biggest game of the year is going to be the freaking Egg Bowl again that nobody watches in that shit-ass state of Mississippi.
I hope this gets clipped for good reasons. I love it. Look, the autonomy, I agree with. I think you're spot on, though. I think there might be a little bit of a hubris happening of like, don't forget of why you are where you are. You had to do those things to get where you're at.
They're tired of them.
Jim says, bottom line, no one knows shit, and until Lane signs the extension, we're still in it. Yeah, again, this is Jim, and this is where you know, I've kind of alluded to the whole time is that it's worse than a 5-star recruit because, dude, there's a lot of emotions, a lot of things swirling, and a lot of handshake agreements could be going on. And again, I would argue that from multiple people on our side feel extremely confident. I mean, we're talking Allie, we're talking Gator Dave, we're talking Swolder, obviously Dan. I mean, these guys are all still extremely confident. There have been other things that I've heard to put certain things into motion with the anticipation of him coming. I've heard all of those things, and I still feel weary because of the personal side of like the same, like all the things they're saying is what I'm concerned about. I was like, yeah, they have given him everything. And the same reason why I think we should feel confident is because even with that, they're weary. And almost, I love Survivor. And there's people in our Discord that do this. You'll learn in life, I believe, that you have to choose a side. Nobody likes to choose a side because you don't want to piss anybody off. So people try to float in the middle. If you ever watch Survivor, this happens. You'll get like your alliances, right? Like those game shows, you have alliances. And there's a person that always tries to float. And that person for like 5 minutes thinks they're on top of the world because they're playing both sides. Well, both sides aren't dumb. And eventually they figure out this guy is working both of us. And then that guy ultimately gets canned. And then the enemies go back to hating each other. Right now, it feels like Lane's floating in the middle. Now, I don't know if he can necessarily shoot himself in the foot because of where he's at, but he's got to pick a side eventually. You can't, because at what point if you're Florida, like, hey, you know what? F it, brother. We're giving you the highest paid, all these things, dude. I can't keep waiting around. Like, I love you, but you almost lost an interim head coach. So either shit or get off the pot. And maybe that's what he's waiting on. I don't know.
I think you guys are missing the whole point. I like Ole Miss needs to realize this is the best that they've ever been.
Ever.
And they're not even that good. They're not that good. You about lost to a 3-6-7 team. Do you know why they're not that good? Because they have to do everything the hardest way. In-state talent recruiting is not very good. They have to go transfer portal. They have to go JUCO. It's always been like that. They're not getting kids from Texas. They're not getting anything from Louisiana, really. And the state of Mississippi doesn't provide enough 5-stars for them to live off of. So this is the best team that Ole Miss has ever facilitated the last 2 years, and they have 0 natties.
In 6 years, yeah, I think, this is the best thing that he's coined up, and you can look pretty quickly and realize, like, it's good, but it ain't great. it's good, but it's not gonna you're not gonna
It's
play
not
in an
gonna beat
SEC
Ohio
championship
State.
game, and you're probably getting knocked out first round, even if the game is at home. And I don't know if you march into Starkville come 2 weeks from now and handle that game easily. Levy might give
That's
you a
what
little
I'm
bit of
saying.
juice.
Like,
Yeah,
these-
no,
like-
I hear,
like,
no, I hear you. Yeah.
Like they're so dumb. They just don't. Florida's not that good of a program. Why would he go there? Why wouldn't you go there? Look at all the talent on the field. We just went toe to toe with you in your house with an interim coach and a staff that's not even suitable to be a high school staff. Like, what are we talking about?
He said, idiot, last year was better. You lost more games and missed the playoffs. You've won more.
Okay,
You've won the most games
I said the
in
last-
history, and you're
last
going
2
to a
years.
playoff. So if you think last year was better, the team appeared to look better on paper last year. I would agree with you. Yeah, you had more NFL talent on that team last year than you do this year. But there seems to be a better cohesion this year. It's well coached better. Trinidad, it maybe has a little more of a dog than Jackson Dart. I think Jackson Dart is your more of a better quarterback. Like, yes, if you look at it from an NFL combine perspective. But in college, you can understand you can win like a Diego Pavio. Like, Diego's not going to be an NFL guy, but he's a great college quarterback. So, yes, you had NFL backs. You had all these things. From an NFL perspective, that team was more talented last year, which speaks even more volume. Like, you have more talent, you still got whopped. It's playing better this year, though. So, a couple super chats here.
This team
$2
is not,
back
this
to the.
team is not national championship bound. Ole Miss can't build a national championship.
No, if you
team.
look at the top teams ahead of them, I mean, Georgia, already beat them, but Georgia's looking better and better with each passing week. Oklahoma would beat them right now. I think Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon would be a fun one. Oregon hasn't looked very good. Texas A&M would throttle them. And look, I'm not taking anything from Ole Miss. I mean, you got to go play the games.
I'm saying.
But
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're not a formidable team, but they're not Ohio State. What Ohio State was looking like last year.
And I think the argument is that they're not Ohio State, where if Lane was out of Florida or Auburn or LSU in this period of his career, he would be that.
Yes.
He would be there talent-wise. Yeah. For multiple years.
That's the appeal.
For multiple years.
That's the appeal. Why live on the razor thin edge of talent when you can go and dump yourself to where you can, like Ed Orgeron said, literally hop in a Cadillac and drive to an All-American's house, 5 miles from the stadium. Like why? Why do it to yourself?
$2 back to their basements in North Mississippi from iMac. $2. Let's go have him. Let's let him have it, Coaster. Anthony. And then Guy Matterson says $2. I think he was loving your rant as well.
Yeah, Ole Miss defense is not good. Not good.
There are they're on 2 of the 5 stages of grief. They're on anger. 0. I think they're past that. I think they're a little bit further along, but we'll see. I saw a few things too last night. People were getting frustrated. It's kind of funny. Like, I don't know if they've known who Lane is, but Lane complaining about the refs and kind of whining a little bit. It's like that's always been Lane. Like, that's like we didn't have it at all with Napier, but I always wondered because like his personality. But that's how Spurrier was. Like, Spurrier was the exact same way. Like, was very vocal and outspoken about things that frustrated and irritated him. Like, I'm okay with it. I really don't care. Like, I think Beamer does it. I don't mind it. There's definitely times where it's a bit but again, you're gonna have that. Like, Kirby does it too. Yeah, Kirby does it too. But there's a time where you like it. You want your coach to be. I think because he was so vocal, they picked the damn flag up.
Yeah. If it works, if it gets you to win, it gets you to win.
Yeah.
I'm not hating it.
No.
I mean, the officiating is bad everywhere, right? So it is what it is. I just think that like maybe a couple of years ago, it was just not something that coaches did. And now coaches are just a lot more vocal about it. And they're going to say, hey, that was a bad call. Or I just think it's the acceptance of where we are in sports, where, officiating has always been kind of complained about, but now the coaches are just outright just calling it out, which
and
whatever. I love.
There
needs to be some accountability.
Yeah, there's been some egregious things that have happened too, for sure. So, guys, there's over 900 people in here. If you guys could smash it, like it, do all the good things, that'd be greatly appreciated. Again, Ole Miss fans, you guys can dislike it. I don't care.
A couple of weeks ago, we were screaming because they were looking on the Megatron. for
the
penalty.
refs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see here. $10 from Brady Jorth. Thank you, man, for the $10. I appreciate you. But yeah, look, all in all, great stuff. Hopefully we cleared some things up. Look, take it easy on our guy Danny T. I know you're frustrated because you got to hype this up, but that's the world. I think you have to understand that's what it is. And keep in mind, we don't want to shoot the hand that feeds too. You don't like. You're gonna have sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. You have to take everything that is said. You can't. You got to take it at face value, right? For what it is, but also with the understanding that it's very fluid. And I think I made it pretty clear. My skin couldn't handle living in that world. Like I've said that. Like I'll never be a guy that breaks news or tries to be in front because I couldn't handle the backlash. I would drop too many. Call me a puss or whatever you want. It's a crazy world to live in.
When you dabble, with the fire, you're gonna get burnt every now and then.
Yeah, and Dan knows that. Dan, I mean, look, because if Dan would have hit, the guy would have been the statue would have been built. That's kind of the life that it is. It's hot or cold.
Loafers.
Yeah, the loafers would have been gold plated. Look, he could still have an opportunity to hit. It hasn't. I mean, that's not over yet. But yeah. Look, I think as of now, I don't think that it's necessarily changed. I think that it was an emotional game. It was fun to watch, but yeah, it's becoming daunting. I know Swolder's cooked. He's tapped out with just he's trying to get as much information. He wants this thing to work as much as possible. And even I talked to him yesterday before the game. And he was like, look, like, he's like, I know what Dan tweeted, but everyone I keep talking to, and I've even asked them about the Dan tweet, they're like, yeah, because we don't know who Dan talks to. He goes, they're like, yeah, he could be onto something, but we're still hearing that, like, yeah, things are okay, but the timeline was after the Egg Bowl. And so now Dan says later this week, so we'll kind of keep our ear to the floor and see how things move. But again, I don't know who these people talk to either. So, but I don't think that they don't know what's going on. So, there seems to be a lot of correlation still. I think the timeline just seems to be a bit fuzzier than what we would like.
I always thought the Sunday thing was kind of odd too. I figured it would be after the Egg Bowl, and if Mississippi, we forgot to talk. We did snatch their videographer.
Yeah, I did see.
Cool.
I tweeted it out. Dominoes were falling. That was funny. You know, I think I've said this the whole time. There isn't, in my opinion, the reason Sunday, I kind of questioned Sunday too, but then I was like, even I was talking to my wife and family, I was like, yeah, Sunday could be the day. And our neighbor who doesn't really even watch, like, she's like not connected, but she watches the stream. She was like, Sunday doesn't make any sense. Like, they just got done playing. It's like, it's funny how people aren't even connected. Like, just the basic logistics don't make sense. And I felt the same way, but I'm like, there really isn't a day that makes sense. You could argue even after the Egg Bowl, it's like, so right before the playoffs, you're going to, like, there is not a good enough time to announce it. And I kind of Sunday made a lot of sense. Sunday made a lot of sense because if they choose to move on from Lane, you now give your team and the new coaching staff 5 weeks to prepare.
Why is it that they automatically are moving on if he decides to take the Florida job?
Well, I think there's been conversations that they don't want to let him coach the rest of the year.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So you're on the precipice of being a playoff contender.
I'm on the same page as
you. And you are gonna not let your coach. The guy that has built this whole thing for 6 years. Because he's deciding to take a better job.
Yeah, they said F it. I think that's where they're at.
We saw last night what that about got him. Lane had to take the play calling over.
I'm not telling you it makes sense, but I think that is the dilemma here. Because for me, it's like, hey, if I'm Lane, I'm like, hey, I'm taking the job, but I'm coaching these boys out to the end. Both sides are my new side's okay with it. Are you? And they go no. Then he's gonna be like, well, damn, you don't give that up either. And I genuinely think that's the holdup. That's the holdup. But I agree with you. Like, just let the guy coach it out. Nobody's gonna be pissed. The players aren't gonna care. If you think the people are emotional, we tend to forget this. Just because they have the GM title and they make a lot of money, that doesn't mean they've grown up and they're mature and can handle these situations. Like, we're all just big babies. Like, even men, we're the biggest babies of them all. So, I don't know. It's a petty thing. It's a petty. Would we do it? Somebody asked me that question. Would we do it? I don't know.
I think if we were on a playoff run, I don't think we'd. I mean, yeah, we would be loud, But
Yeah, this is why the Sunday honestly made a lot of sense because they have a bye week to get the interim time to coach the team. Like, honestly, Sunday made a ton of sense. When you really look at the whole because again, Sunday makes sense with the thought process that they wouldn't allow him to coach.
You can't tell me though. I mean, I know that you had that podcaster on and he said that he wouldn't want him to coach. You can't
I
tell
know,
me that.
Cody, but you're not listening. Like, yes, I agree with you. But I genuinely feel like Ole Miss and the GMs would not want him to coach. I really think that would happen. Like,
but that's the same GM we're trying to snatch.
What does that have to do with anything?
But why would you not have him coach? He's on contract.
I don't know. Because they're petty. Because maybe they wouldn't feel that he's in it. I have no idea. There's a multitude of reasons of why you would say he wouldn't. And again, even if you let him coach it out, Sunday still makes a ton of sense because you, as Ole Miss, now give yourself more time to find the next coach. So the more you talk about it, today would have made a lot of sense for everybody involved. Because the longer you put it off, the more stress you're going to put on everybody's
and I understand.
chassis.
I think there's people that know that's what's going on. And if I'm Ole Miss, I'm definitely starting to vet people. If they haven't already, I'm sure they have. Like, let's not they're not the what's his name? I can't think of his name. Their athletic director is not stupid. Like, he's got to have a pulse on this thing. He's got to been betting people.
No question. Yeah, I just got a tweet here. I'm trying to see what this is. Dave sent it to me. I'm pretty sure it's the AD. He looks pissed.
Because when did Billy Napier come? He came after their play. Like, they had didn't they play for a title of some sort, a conference championship?
They played they played their conference, and he coached the bowl game. It's a little bit different though. It's a little bit different. You're literally moving like it's a genuine promotion. Like, it's like, yeah, like they know that like in those schools that you have an opportunity to lose a job. There's a photo here with Neil McNeedy. Yeah, I guess he's like a 247 staffer who was crashing out on the boards like a few days ago. And you can tell that he just is not happy about the big win they just had. Like, he's looking at Lane like, screw you, Cat. Again, everyone's trying to figure out what's going on, and I still feel like do I feel further away? No, I still feel pretty, I mean, honestly, with the crash out going on after a win, surprisingly still good.
Yeah, I think the only one that didn't crash out was the Locked On Rebs guy.
He seems like he's in his own world.
Juiced.
Respect to him. Yeah,
he was juiced, dude.
He has his own set of sources.
This is a pinnacle win. This is what we finally did it. We're finally.
I think he's playing the fan side. Like, I feel like that's how you and I would be. Of like, I don't give a damn about all the bullshit. Like, we won. Like we can't get like worked up about the things that are out of our. Like, guys are crashing out off of he or say they say. So I did see that Lane pushed away from the AD. I didn't see it, so I wasn't going to talk about it, but I did see some thoughts that the guy came up and he kind of like shoved him off of like, yeah, get off me, dude. We're not cool. You just pressured me 10 hours ago to sign this job, and now you want to come hang out with me? Well, hopefully we cleared some things up. Maybe I made your Sunday worse. I don't know. But we'll do the best that we can. Keep your eyes and ears peeled to keep the bell turned on. If anything breaks, we'll be here tonight. Tonight, watch party is tentative unless Cody wants to rock himself, then it's guaranteed. I may or may not be there.
Terrible.
I mean, how are you going to be pissed for your boy that gets to go to his first basketball game? Like, that just seems like you're like the Ole Miss AD. Like, I'm not leaving for a year. I'm just going for
like leaving us forever. Thought we had something special built here.
Okay.
You know what? Just go, will you?
I'm tired of the games. I'm tired of the back and forth with this.
I'm tired of the games.
Yeah. I love it. All right. Well, let me see if anything's popped on Twitter while we've talked. A quick little refresh. Bang! Signed extension. Just kidding.
Oh, God, no. No 3 gets me with that every time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Sip Central. Florida has finalized a 5-year deal with interim head coach
Nice.
Billy Gonzalez
Nice.
after the almost win. Like it.
All right. Well, y'all be good. Be safe. Happy Sunday. We appreciate y'all. What time tonight? Well, the game's at 8:30. So,
We'll be here.
look at it.
It's Hot Top Sports where the takes don't miss. The prof with the stats, the champ with the fist. Water bringing fire, cowboy, tie riding bold. Bulls calling bets, watch the story.